Americans for Fair Taxation presents the Weekly Chairman's Report, written by Steve Hayes, president of Americans for Fair Taxation, and recorded by Bob Paxton, a volunteer with the Florida FairTax Educational Association. And now, this week's Chairman's Report.
Hello, I'm Bob Paxton with the AFFT Chairman's Report for Friday, October 11th, 2019. The impeachment talk is costing the swamp money. Now, many people disagree with President Trump's methods and policies, but few believe that he is beholden to the swamp and the ruling class. This is why many in the swamp and the ruling class believe that the biggest threat to their control of the rest of us is President Trump and other outsiders that may upset the good thing that they've had going for many years. Ironically, the focus of the swamp and the ruling class on removing the president, or at least making him incapable of taking any action, has led to yet another missed opportunity for them to profit from the income payroll tax system. Since they can't make the enormous amounts of money they made when lobbying for the 2017 tax bill every year, one of their sources of steady income are the extensions of the temporary tax breaks and credits that have been purchased by interest groups and inserted into the tax code. This group of special interest tax benefits are called tax extenders. Of course, tax extenders are a way for members of Congress to provide benefits to important constituencies in their home districts or states. Generally, these tax extenders are in areas that specifically benefit certain groups. In an August 29, 2019 article entitled "Here's Why Congress Should End Tax Extenders" by Adam Millsap, Mr. Millsap explains some facts about these tax extenders. They are tax breaks for specific goods and services that are often chosen for political reasons. Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, which is the largest corn-producing state in the country, unsurprisingly supports a biofuel producer credit that would benefit the ethanol industry and thus corn farmers. Now, many of these tax breaks support ineffective programs and cost the rest of us. In an October 7, 2019 article on the Motley Fool website entitled "These Popular Tax Breaks Might Be Gone for Good," Dan Kaplinger points out that temporary tax breaks come about because the federal government has to account for the long-term budgetary impact of any changes to the tax laws. It's more expensive to pass a tax break that will extend permanently into the future than it is to have it be in effect for only a single year. One bill, the Taxpayer Certainty and Disaster Relief Act of 2019, remains under consideration in the House with no clearly set time frame for further deliberation. A Senate bill with a similar name of the Tax Extender and Disaster Relief Act of 2019 hasn't even gotten an initial hearing, although some task forces have made recommendations after taking closer looks at key areas. At this point, it seems unlikely that lawmakers can come to agreement on getting any changes made retroactively to apply to the 2018 tax year. Many of the special interests have already paid lobbyists and donated to members of Congress to get these special benefits renewed for another year, and they're going to be upset if the people they think they have bought don't deliver. These special interests might not be as willing to pay for special benefits in advance when they see that they didn't get what they paid for. In conclusion, this is just another mistake by the swamp and the ruling class to let politics get in the way of greed. Just like with freeing most of us from some of their control by letting the standard deduction be doubled, they've let down some special interests. The way that the swamp and the ruling class profit from tax extenders is another reason why they so fanatically oppose the fair tax. They know that all of the ways they use to control us and sell benefits are gone when the fair tax is passed. Their worst nightmare is that if they try to sell a special benefit, everyone will see it. When the fair tax is passed, the only tax paid will be a simple and fair tax collected when we make retail purchases of new goods and services. This upset about and fear of the fair tax is understandable. If for years you have made money off a corrupt tax system that was hurting the rest of us, and if you are using this same corrupt system to exert control over the rest of us, you might be upset if you had no conscience. Of course, if the swamp and the ruling class really think that the rest of us are not capable of making our own decisions, then maybe they really do believe that their actions are justified. Now, this is the same argument advanced by slaveholders and dictators. It wasn't true then, and it's not true now. To the swamp and the ruling class, the fair tax is a radical idea, giving the people the right to determine how much tax they pay by how they spend their money. It's time for Congress to have serious discussions about replacing the failing income payroll tax system with the fair tax, the only truly fair tax.
This has been the Weekly Chairman's Report, written by Steve Hayes, President of Americans for Fair Taxation. Check back every week for news and information about the fair tax, and learn why the fair tax should replace our antiquated federal income tax system. If you'd like to receive a copy of the Chairman's Report in your inbox every week, sign up at fairtax.org.